Hey guys! So, channel news. I'm going to post a video every Thursday. There you go, now you know. Sounds good, right? So now that that's out of the way, what has been going on? So the last vlog I talked about graduation. I graduated. Yay! And yeah, I also talked about the fact that my parents are currently getting divorced. So, I said it was going to be awkward. I was very correct. My parents didn't even talk to each other. Yeah, so it was very weird. My dad didn't stay very long. I only got to talk to him for a few minutes and he left. Also, my mom had a panic attack, which was interesting. And yeah, it was just all around weird day. Also, last time I talked about being uncoordinated and how I was afraid that I would, if I had a really long robe, I would trip on my robe. Apparently I don't have to have a really long robe to trip, because I kind of tripped up the stairs going to get my diploma. Nobody noticed. It was just a small little hitch, but yeah, there you go. I almost fell. That would have been very embarrassing. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, that means no more school for me, no more classes. I'm done. Now, Kevin is going back to take a class. He's been watching a lot of TV shows and things about astronomy and the universe and physics and stuff like that. He's really interested in it. So he is going back and he's taking an astronomy class in the fall. I actually took an astronomy class back in, I don't know, 2002. I really liked it, but the only thing I can remember about it is the graduate assistant that taught my lab, because he was Italian and his name was Sergio, and I always liked the way he said the word magnetic, because we would be talking about magnetic fields and he would say magnetic, and I always thought it was the cutest thing. And then later I ended up taking Italian classes and found out that the GN in Italian always makes the ñ sound. It's kind of like an N with a tilde, I think is what it's called in Spanish. Yeah, makes that sound. That's why lasagna is spelled the way it is and said the way it is. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, since I've already been talking about accents and things like that, we're going to go ahead and talk about something that I've been wanting to kind of talk about for, I don't know, about a week. And that is the differences between English words and phrases and stuff like that, especially between American English and, I don't know, British English? What do you call that? I mean, English. It's from England. It's English. English and American English. I don't know. UK English and American English. That works. So, recently I played Portal 2, and I got to hear a lot of speaking from Stephen Merchant, because he plays the voice of Wheatley, and it's one of my favorite video game characters, probably of all time. And I already liked his voice. I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. So yeah, of course, that made me want to watch interviews with Stephen Merchant, and also that kind of got me into watching interviews with him and Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington, and that got me started watching Ricky Gervais' show, because I've never seen it before. I've seen clips from it. I thought it was really funny, and so I've started watching that. I always forget how hilarious they all are, especially Carl, and I don't know, he's just so funny. And they're all just adorable. Of course, because I have a crush on everyone, of course I have a crush on all of them. What are you gonna do? You get used to it with me. I have crushes on everyone. I mean, seriously. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that I like them. So, so that made me think of An Idiot Abroad, which Kevin and I used to watch together. We really liked it because it's really funny to watch the way Carl reacts to all of this stuff, because if I was put into this situation, if I was an idiot abroad, I would be doing the same thing that Carl does. I would complain the whole time, and I'd be like, Kevin would say, hey, do this, and I'd say, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do that. No, I'm just not. And then we always kind of laugh about that, because we know that that's how I am. So I'm kind of like Carl Pilkington in that I would not eat rotten fish or whatever, you know? That's gross. Not gonna do it. So anyway, after watching all of these interviews and watching the show and all of that stuff, it always makes me laugh when they say the word whinging, because I have really loved the word whinging. I've heard it so much lately that it's just grown on me. So I'm probably going to start using it all the time. Maybe not. I'll drive Kevin crazy. In America, or at least in the South where I live, we don't say the word whinging. We say whining, which is basically the same, except it doesn't have like one G, one of the G's or something. So yeah, that makes me think of other differences between US English and UK English, I guess, because there are some differences. And I try to keep up with this stuff because I have friends who are British, and I don't want to confuse them, I guess. So I try to adapt and, you know, when I talk to them, kind of try to, I don't know, speak their language. That sounds terrible. But it's really funny when you're playing a game like Draw Something. I play Draw Something with some of my friends, like Jess, who is Scottish, and one time I sent her, the word was Waldo, so I drew a picture of Where's Waldo, which in America, that's, you know, everybody knows Where's Waldo. So I sent it, and after I sent it, I thought, do they have Where's Waldo in England or in Scotland or, you know, over there? I don't even know. Apparently they do, but he's called Wally. He's not Waldo, so it confused her because all of the letters for Wally weren't there. So yeah, stuff like that. After talking to all these British people and, you know, watching all these British shows, I've been picking up a lot of slang, and I'm afraid I'm going to start using it around the house, and Kevin's not going to understand me. Kevin has a hard time understanding people with different accents. I don't know why. And it's not all people with accents, but yeah. He has no trouble watching things like Game of Thrones and stuff like that, but movies and TV shows with more modern day language, he just can't grasp it sometimes. So I kind of have to act as a translator. If he wants to watch the British version of The Office, I have to watch it with him because he can't understand what they're saying, which is really weird because I can understand most of it. Some of it's a little different. Yeah, they have the accent, but I can get the gist of it. But he can't. So, yeah, I have to work kind of as a translator. It's weird. Back in March or so, I decided to watch Doctor Who for the first time, and I wanted him to watch it with me, so he started watching the first episode, and he had problems figuring out what they were saying a lot of times. The only question I can remember him asking me, actually, was about this scene where it's after Rose has met the Doctor for the first time, and you know, the mannequins have chased them, and she goes home after her workplace has exploded, basically. And she goes home, and Mickey comes over, and he's asking about her, and he tells her that she needs to be drinking something a little stronger than tea, and says, you know, hey, let's go down to the pub. And she says, is there a match on? And he's like, no, I'm just thinking about you, you know, and she's like, there's a match on, isn't there? So he's like, yeah, maybe we can catch the last few minutes or whatever. And Kevin turns to me after this little conversation between the two characters, and he goes, what's a mash on? And I kind of laughed at him, and I was like, match on. Is there a match on? I'm like, it's like a football game, basically. And he's like, oh. So yeah, things like that I have to translate. But yeah, so I try to keep up with like British words that are different from American English words. Like, you know, the trunk of a car is called the boot, and the hood is called the bonnet, and a football for British people is a soccer ball for me, and a football for me is some weird thing that they've never seen before. I guess it's an American football. Yeah. So that's kind of fun when you're playing Draw Something with friends from overseas. But I also play Draw Something with Dan, who is Italian, if you didn't know. But I'm always afraid that I'm going to try drawing something that he doesn't know, or there's like not a word for it in Italian or something. Luckily that hasn't happened because I'm pretty sure there's a word for everything in Italian that would be on draw something. But, you know, I always kind of have that fear that he's not going to know what the heck just happened. Yeah. But I'd kind of be interested in playing Draw Something in Italian because I minored in Italian as an undergrad. So I took like 6 Italian classes, I think 6 classes, and learned to speak it conversationally and to write in Italian, and was never good at the speaking part. I was okay at the writing part, but oh, it's a shame I didn't keep up with it because it's a really pretty language. I mean, it just flows, it's so musical. It's really interesting to take an Italian class with 20 other Southern people because the accents kind of get really wild. I mean, you guys have heard me talk. I try not to sound quite as Southern in my videos as I do in real life. It can get pretty bad, especially when I go home for the weekend. If I like go visit my parents or my grandparents and they're all talking around me, Christmas, stuff like that, holidays, the Southern accent comes out pretty strong. But I try not to talk like that when I'm talking to you guys because I don't want you to be like, I can't understand her, what is that accent? But yeah, it's really interesting to have an Italian class or really any kind of foreign language class with other Southerners because some of the accents that they do are terrible. I was trying to think of a good example of this, and the best example that I can think of is from a scene in Inglourious Basterds. I don't really like the movie. I'm not a big Quentin Tarantino fan. But there's one scene that is just absolutely hilarious where Brad Pitt is talking to Christoph Waltz, and his character is, well, he's trying to pretend that he's an Italian man. And he starts speaking in Italian. But he's a Southern guy, so he's got this terrible Southern accent, and it is hilarious because it sounds exactly like in my classes that I took. So, yeah, if you want to know what I'm talking about, just go YouTube it. You'll find it pretty easily. But I think my favorite part is when he tries to say goodbye in Italian, and he's like, arrivederci. So just imagine being in a class with 20 other people who talk like that, and it can get kind of terrible. Oh, goodness. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's all that I'm going to talk about today, and I will see you guys next week. Not sure what I'm going to talk about then, but I'll figure something out. Until then, bye! So after I made the video earlier, I realized that I forgot to tell you what Kevin got me for graduation. It's just a couple of things, so I thought I would show you really quickly. He got me this keyboard, what is it? I don't even know what it's called, but I'll just show it to you. You open it up, and I've got my nice little iPad here, and it's got a keyboard that connects through Bluetooth, so that's pretty cool. So I can sit there, and it's got a nice little thing like that, so I can set it up, and I can type and make notes and stuff, which I do, because I keep track of what my plans are for videos and stuff like that. I keep those in here, so there you go. He got me a couple of styluses. Is that what they were called? What they would be called? I don't know. Okay, anyway, yeah, a stylus. He got me 2 of them. I'll just say that. One pink and one blue. So I've got 3 of those now for my iPad. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And he also got me a $20 Steam gift card, and I went ahead and spent it. So there we go. He got me that stuff. And also he got me one more thing, and I'm gonna put it on real quick so that I can show you, or put them on. Okay, I'm back. This may be one of the only times you ever see me wearing earrings. Kevin got me earrings, and they're portal earrings. So there's, okay, let me, that way. So there is the person going through the portal, and there's the person coming through on the other side. So there we go. It's on both sides of my ears. So I have them like this, and it's, ta-da! It's like they're going through my neck. Kind of strange, but I like them. They're really cute. I don't normally wear earrings, so it's kind of weird having them, but they're really cute. And now I guess I should wear those with my I also have my Minecraft necklace that I haven't worn in a while, but I know exactly where it is, so I could always find it. But yeah, Portal earrings, aren't they cute? I think they're adorable. And speaking of Portal, I finished Portal 2 on my gaming channel. Really loved it, which I've talked about it on there so much. But since I opened my loot crates on this channel, thought I would mention that I got an email today that they usually send an email about 2 weeks before they send the loot crate telling you what the theme is for the month. So the theme of August is cake. Cake. So that could be interesting. And the picture, I will actually show you this. The picture on here is, you know, it looks like the cake. The cake is a lie, you know, all that stuff. So it says right here, the Cake Crate is a two-part blend, part epic items that defined our first year, because it's their first year, their first anniversary, and part gear from an epic gaming franchise we love. Please let this be Portal, because if it's not, I'm going to be so disappointed. I want it to be Portal stuff so badly. So badly. So yeah, that's, I think that's all I want to tell you guys. So, I've already said until next time, but yeah, bye again. Keep doing this. It's crazy.